Hi everyone, welcome to the first practical of online learnings. In this practical, we'll be discussing about the packet tracer and configuring initial, just put it here, and we'll configure initial switch settings. So first of all, what we'll do is you come to switch, you select switch, and then you select CLI. Now here, you just put your cursor and you press enter. Now you type enable and again enter. So now you can you see the change in the sign here, the hash sign? This is privilege access mode. Now we have entered privilege access mode in which we can make any changes in the system whatsoever. So that's why in order to make all the changes we need to be in privileged access mode. And now we'll type show running config. Now here you can see the interfaces to which switch is connected to or to computers, PCs. And if you want to see more, you just press space. If you again want to see more, just press space. And now you can see all the fast Ethernets, gigabits, Ethernets. So the question, depending on what topology you have used, you need to answer this question. Coming to the range of VTY lines, you can see here VTY line 0 to 4 and 5 to 15. In total, there will be 16, right? Now, which command will display the current contents of non-volatile random access memory? So, non-volatile random access memory is used. Suppose if you have lost all your contents, then you can access this memory to again retrieve all the changes you have made to the system. So now if I need to see more, then I can press space. Otherwise, I'll just enter into privileged access mode. In order to see the contents of non-volatile memory, we need to write show startup. I'll put this start. I'm not sure if it's startup config or no. I think it's here and yeah, so it is saying startup config is not present. Why? So since we have just started making changes and we have not saved anything into non-volatile RAM, so how can we see the contents of non-volatile RAM, right? We need to copy the contents of whatever changes we are making now into non-volatile RAM in order to have access to in order to see those changes. So that's why the startup config is not responding because there is nothing saved there. Now, second part, create a basic switch configuration. So let's follow these instructions. Now we are in privileged access mode. Now we need to type configure terminal. Configure terminal. Now you have enter configuration commands one per line. Now you have entered this configure terminal. Now you can see after switch there is config, right? So now in order to change the name of the switch, it is very important to enter configure terminal. If you have not entered configure terminal or you are still present at privileged access mode, you won't be able to change the name. So it's very important to be in configure terminal. In order to change the name, you write host name S1, enter. Now the change, now see here. Firstly, we have a switch, right? Now it is S1, right? So this is the change we have made. Now you can exit small letters, you can exit from it. Now also now enter. Now if you haven't been into configure terminal, what would have happened? Let's say I'm changing the host name here only. Host name S1. It is not letting me change the name. It is saying it's invalid because we need to enter configure terminal to change the host name. Now second is secure access to the console line. Now to secure access to the console line, access config line mode and set the password. Now again, we need to secure the console line. What is console line? When you enter that enable, When you enter the switch, we need to create a password for that only. So what we'll do is we'll again be in configure terminal mode only, and then we'll write line console 0. So you would be asking what are these commands and why we are using this. These are some commands which you need to learn it as it is. There's no reason as to why in this way, because when during the making of changes in switches or in routers, these were some of the terms which were used universally in order to make changes. So now line console 0. Now you see here from configure terminal we are into configure line terminal. So that's why it's very important to change the terminal, because then only you can, because we want to put our password in configure line terminal, right? So now password let me in. Do not forget to use login command, because if you do not use login command, then you will not be able to make this change, and then you can exit. And now we exit from line command, we are in configure terminal command. Now if we exit from here also, we are in privilege access mode, right? So let's say now you won't be able to see where we have used password, because this password will be used when in this case, if I let you see here. Yeah, so it's enable, right? After enable this, they would ask you for password. But right now, since we are already in privileged access mode, they will not ask for password, right? So the next is exit privileged access mode to verify that the console password is in in fact, yeah. So let's exit from this mode also. Now again, it's the very starting of the switch. As I said, now you have to put a password which is let me in. Then only you can use enable, right? And then you have entered the privileged access mode. Now we need to make sure that our privileged access mode is also password protected. In order to do that, we'll use is, again, we need to make sure that we are in configure terminal, then only we can make changes, and then we'll write enable, because we are putting password for enable. So we'll write enable password C1 and O Cisco, right? So now enter. Now you don't need to put a login command. Login command is only used for line console. Here your password is set and you can exit. And if you want to see, you can exit from here also. Again, we are entered. So what was the password here? Let me in. Now enable. After enable, in order to go into privileged access mode, they will ask for a password. So the password is Cisco. You'll not be able to see while I'm writing, but yeah, when I write, it's protected. Now I've entered privileged access mode. Now the first password we've done. Now in order to verify the configuration by examining the contents, now in order to verify that whatever changes you have made are present or not, we'll use show running config. And now here you can see we changed the host name. Here is the host name. You can see the password. Here is the password, right? Even if you can see for, so here also password for line, you can see here, right? Now put no. See, when you see here, when like if I'm at in privileged access mode and I'm typing this, I'm able to see that the password is Cisco. I have seen, if I know the password of line console, I would easily hack into the switch and get and know the password of privileged access mode by using show running config. Therefore, I need to protect this password, and I'll use the technique of encryption. So encryption, what happens before using the technique of encryption, what I do is I I'll put a secret password So I'll put one more layer of password, right? So let's see, I'm putting here, in order to put a password, we need configure terminal. You can also put config T because it's config, configures config, and terminals T. So config T. Again, the same thing, we have entered configuration mode, and now we'll put enable there because we are protecting enable password because we were already able to see it, right, by using show config command, show running command, show running config. So now I'll put secret here and I'll say it's a secret and exit. Now let's see what has happened. If I put show run or show running config, it's the same way, same thing, right? So now what's happened is the password is Cisco, but there is a secret password which was it's a secret, right? But here we can't interpret what that password is. So when I'm again, if I see I want to log in into the systems, so first password was let me in, then enable, second password was Cisco, then it's not taking it, it's not accepting that password. Now let's try for uh, it's a secret, I'm not sure yes, so it took it's a secret password, and it, as you can see here, it is encrypted because we can't see. Even if someone is putting a Cisco password, he or she will not enter the switch. So you know, if even though we, what why is it important to put a Cisco password is because secret password can only be applied on this password, right? So that's why it is important to put enable password and then one layer enable secret password. Okay, now the next one is, now since we can see all these passwords like Cisco, and then there is also let me in, if you remember, I can see these passwords, I need to encrypt them, I need to uh, change them in a certain way by using encryption command. So the command would be, again, in order to make changes we need to go to config T or config terminal, and then I'll be using service password encryption. I need to use this password to encrypt all the passwords. So if I put exit and I'm in privileged access mode, and if I put show run or show running config, now see here, the enable password is also changed into some encrypted form, and if and that is also encrypted. Let's say more, and now the line console password which was let me in, it is also encrypted. So this is the use of service password encryption. Now let's change the banner. In order to make any change, you go to config terminal and then you write banner. It is important. Banner MOTD. MOTD means message of, so it's message of the day, right? So the message of the day is, this is a secure system authorized access only. So if someone else who doesn't know the password is trying to enter into the system, he or she will see this banner. Okay, let's see if we can see this banner or not. I'm exiting, exit. Yeah, let's say I put some different password. Here I'm not seeing the banner. Then I think it will be on privileged access mode. So let me in, yeah, enable, and if I'm putting it, it's not showing. So maybe it's in the second, let's see. It's a secret. Maybe this the change has not been made because Banner authorized access only. It should the banner was not displayed. Let's say again confetti banner MOTD authorized access only. Okay, that's it. Now let's close it and let's try it. Oh, exit has exit. So now let's say, I'm not sure when the banner will be displayed, but let's say I'll change here. So it's, if I remember, it's Cisco. Okay, so the password, it's let me in. Sorry, I forgot that. Now if I say enable, and if I say a different password, it's not showing me banner. It's a secret. Maybe if I just, okay, let's come to banner after doing all the setup. Okay, let's come to back to it. Next is copy all the files to NVRAM. So when I said in order to access NVRAM, the changes we have made, we need to copy all these changes into NVRAM. Then only we can see it. So if I say copy running configuration config. So what do we mean by running config means whatever I made changes. So you copy all these changes to startup config, right? And they put enter and then again enter and that's done. So all the contents will be saved to NVRAM. Similarly, we'll do the same thing with switch, another switch. So let's do it quickly. Put enter, you put enable. Now we need to change the name of the switch. We go to config T and now we'll change this name, host name as 2 and now we'll protect the line console, that is before enable we'll protect it. So that would be using let me in password. So we go to, now we are in config mode, now we have to go to line mode. So we go to line console 0. Now we are in line mode, config line mode. Now we'll put password sys go. And now do not forget to put login in line console. It's done. Now we exit from config line command and now we will protect the privileged access mode. In order to protect privileged access mode, we'll write enable password and we'll be putting the enable password also. Oh, so for line console, I put the Cisco password. I should have put let me in password. So yeah, that's the change you can make. Okay. So be careful, you need to put let me in, not Cisco. But for enable, you need to put Cisco. So now I'll try to change that let me in if it's possible. So now I have given a password to the privilege access mode, but I need to secure this password also. So I'll put one more layer of enable secret. It's a secret. Now I'll encrypt all the plain passwords using service password encryption, but not in config terminal. I will be exiting from here and now in privilege access mode, I will write service password encryption. I think it should be in config terminal. Let me see. So service password encryption. Yep. If we see here, let's see here, let's check if, yeah, it has to be in config terminal, yeah, because all the changes need to be made in config terminal. So now we have encrypted all the password, configuration is correct, save all these. In order to save, we need to go to privileged access mode. So we'll exit. We are now in privileged access mode. So copy running config to startup config, enter. And about banner, let's say we put a banner over here also. So again, config t. Now we are putting banner, MOTD, message of the day, authorized access only. Yeah. So now exit, and maybe I guess, okay, it's not knowing, and let's cross it. So now we have configured. Let's see if we can see the banner here. So it was let me in, enable. No, it's not the banner. The password was, it's a secret, and I've entered. Let's check here. It is not ended. Till then, let's try to change the let me in. So config t. Now we have to enter line console 0, password let me in, login, exit, let's say show run, if we can see, space, banner. Oh, you can see here we have put banner, and the password is encrypted, so we can't see if it's let me in or not. But what we can do is we can try by exiting from here and putting let me in. Oh yeah, so you can change let me in password, and if I say okay, it will take time. So I think that would be the end of this video, because if you see in show run, the changes whatever we have made is visible. If I just put space and see banner MOTD, the banner is here. I think because I'm able to access all these devices, then only that's why I'm not seeing the banner. But if other person tries to access, I think he or she will be looking at banner too if they don't know the password. So yep, that would be from my side. See you in the next video. Bye. Let me just